everyone, welcome back to my channel Dental Cafe. Today I am going to discuss about the 6 keys to normal occlusion, or we can say Andrew 6 key to occlusion. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the latest video. Okay, then let's begin the video. First key is class 1 molar relationship. Under this, the mesiobuccal cusp of upper first molar should occlude in the groove between the mesial and the medial buccal cusp of lower first molar. The crown of the upper first molar must be angulated so that its distal marginal ridge occlude with mesial marginal ridge of lower second molar. Look at the figure. As you can see that the mesiobuccal cusp of upper first molar occlude in the lower first molar groove, and this red line, it occlude the distal marginal ridge of upper first molar and with the mesial marginal ridge of lower second molar. As you can see in the figure, both the marginal ridge, distal and the mesial of the lower, occlude each other. This is the first key to normal occlusion. Now second key is crown angulation. Under this, the gingival part of long axis of the crown must be distal to the occlusal part of the axis. We have two types of angulation, positive and negative. Positive angulation when gingival portion is distal to incisal portion, and negative angulation when gingival portion is mesial to incisal portion. Look at the figure. This is mesial side, this is distal side. Yellow line represents occlusal part and red line represents gingival part. If we draw a line from occlusal to gingival part, you can see in the figure that the occlusal part is more mesially and the gingival part is more distally. This is the second key. Now third key. Third key is crown inclination. Under this, crown inclination is determined from mesial or distal perspective. Then, angle formed by a line 90 degree to occlusal plane and a line tangent to bracket position. Positive when gingival portion of tangent line is lingual, and negative when vice versa, that is gingival portion of tangent line is buccal or labial. Look at the figure. This is occlusal plane, this is buccal or labial side, and opposite to it is lingual side. Perpendicular is drawn from the occlusal plane, that is 90 degree angle. If we draw a tangent from the inclination of the tooth, you can see that the tangent line in gingival portion is more lingually. This is positive inclination when gingival portion of tangent line is lingual. And what is negative inclination? Again, this is occlusal plane, this is buccal side or labial side, and this is lingual side. And if we draw perpendicular to the occlusal plane, that is 90 degree angle, and tangent from the inclination of the tooth, you can see that the tangent line in gingival portion is more buccally. This is negative inclination. In this, when gingival portion of tangent line is labial or buccal. Now fourth key, which is rotation. Under this, in order to achieve correct occlusion, none of the teeth should be rotated. Then, rotated molar and premolar occupy more space in dental arc than normal. And rotated canine adversely affect aesthetic and will lead to occlusal interferences. Let's understand. Suppose this is a rotated premolar. The rotated tooth occupy more space, as you can see in figure. And this is a tooth in normal occlusion, occupy less space, as you can see the difference in rotated and the tooth in normal occlusion. Next key is tight proximal contacts, mean no spacing. If there are no anomalies in the shape of the teeth or intermaxillary discrepancies in the mesodistal tooth size, the contact point should be tight, means there is no space. As you can see in the figure, the contact points are tight, there is no spacing between the contacts or between the teeth. Now the sixth key, flat occlusal plane or curve of Spee. A normal occlusion has a flat occlusal plane. The mandibular curve of Spee should not be deeper than 1.5 mm. As you can see, this is flat occlusal plane, and distance between this and the teeth is less than or equal to 1.5 mm, not deeper than 1.5 mm. Now, important points for competitive exams. First one is how many keys to normal occlusion? What is the first key to normal occlusion? Then positive inclination, positive angulation. Now, I hope you are equipped enough to give the answer of these questions if they will come in exam in the form of MCQs. Don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for the latest videos. Thank you for watching.